Hello, Bill Campbell. I am currently serving as president of Keystone Agricultural Producers. I live northeast of Minto, just on the south side of the Souris River. Currently farm 2,500 acres with 1,500 acres of crop. Have been involved in KAP for a number of years as a member to begin with, and then got involved in the district and then became involved in the board of directors.
Hi, my name's Jill Verwey. Married to Raymond Verwey. We have a farming operation south of Portage la Prairie. It's a 4-generation family farm. And we are involved in the beef industry. We have a cow-calf operation. We have a dairy operation, and we also have cereal grains and oil seeds. And my role in KAP is I'm currently one of the vice presidents. I've had that role for the last 4 years, and been involved with the KAP board for a number of years as well.
So my name is Jake Eyre. I am a farmer from Minto, Manitoba. We grow seed production as well as cash crops. I got involved with KAP back in 2017. I came to the annual meeting with the University of Manitoba. At that time I was in the diploma program with the School of Agriculture, and ever since then I remained involved, and since 2017 I then got on my district board, was encouraged to run for the board of directors position, and then since 2020 I've been vice president.
Hi, I'm Brenna Mahoney. I'm the general manager of Keystone Agricultural Producers. I've been with KAP for 18 months now, and it has been an amazing time. It's been a lot of work, but we have a really good team at KAP, and we've really, one I think the biggest takeaways for me in that 18-month period is the opportunity that KAP has for the future and how agriculture is changing so much, and it's our responsibility as KAP to bring all of those legacy individuals along, as well as build capacity for the future.
I had become involved with general farm policy and questions as to why certain things are the way they are. And so after attending a lot of annual district meetings, I became on the district board and then led to the board of directors, and could see the value and the ability for input on a farmer informational side that could affect policy.
I guess the big one is the importance of setting policy and being where the regulations are being made for farmers, and how these regulations and policies affect farmers, and being part of that discussion, I guess. Everyone's voice is important.
So I saw it as being involved today affects the laws and regulations and policies that are not only being drafted and being consulted on in this very moment, but also 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line. Is the way it's a form of, not risk mitigation, but risk management. It brings you awareness of some of the factors that might be going on or affecting your industry, and some of the changes that you might yourself have to prepare for or work through.
So when I look back on 2022, I think one of the key takeaways for me has been the development of the roadmap that we had done. We had reached out to almost 90 stakeholders to develop that roadmap. So that included district members, that also included our board, our commodity group members, and anyone that KAP had any affiliation with participated in that roadmap development. What does value look like for an organization like KAP? As we look forward to 2023, this roadmap is acting as a catalyst for the next phase of our strategic planning process.
The most important thing that I feel has happened is the collaboration of working with other stakeholders to bring significant awareness of issues. Some of the important highlight ones on the federal level would be the announcement of the new KAP funding model. Also, the removal of the reference margin limit within that framework. I think those are huge wins overall for the industry. As we move along there's also the acknowledgement of the federal government to increase the interest-free cash advance portion from $100,000 to $250,000.
Specifically we look at agri-stability going from 70% to 80%. We look at the formation of the Ag Committee with the Department of Agriculture in Manitoba. We look at, and I think specifically in rural Manitoba, and I know this is a problem we see locally, the vet spaces, adding funding and vet spaces to the veterinary college for more veterinarians in the future.
Well, I think that sustainability is a word that's been around for a long time in a lot of people's minds, but not necessarily had clear definition, and it would be different meanings to different people. But when we look at the term that is being used in its context nowadays, it would be in reference to a three-legged stool, in so much as that there's environmental, society, and economic concerns, but we also need to be aware that we need to make a living while we're doing this.
The Environment to Farm Plan is a tool in the toolbox that KAP is managing and administrating and has for some time. When we look at sustainability and how whatever that means to you as a producer today or to your neighbor, it's becoming front of mind for everybody. Consumers, manufacturers, processors, grocery stores. What's exciting about the online EFP program is that farmers were a part of the process the whole way. So there was a testing group of producers here in Manitoba that were able to log on and test the program, make sure it was efficient and effective.
Well, I believe that brings about a collaboration between industry and farmers, and that showing the beneficial practices that the 4R program has is a method of support from the industry to the providers of that, and that we will engage on beneficial practices for our farms. Well, farm safety is always uppermost on my mind, in so much as that we need to have a safe environment to do our jobs. Some of the tasks are very similar to what they used to be, but the equipment that we're using is a lot bigger, faster, and the time pressure that's on farmers now is that we've got to get this job done in a hurry.
This is an evolving program, and this is taking the collaboration of a Farm Safety Council, which has our commodity group members and other safety partners in the province. We want farmers to know that they're getting the right information, that there's support throughout the sector through the people that they participate with as commodity associations at the table, making sure that they have the right tools, the right programs, and the right information to make sure that what they're doing is safe and right, and it's not putting more burden on them.
You can't put a dollar figure to that. It's saving lives. It's ensuring that your family is working in a safe environment. Your employees can come to work and be reassured that they're working in a safe workplace.
A good example of a win for 2022 was the decrease in education property tax to 37.5%. We have already gotten a commitment for going up to 50% for the following year. These are real dollars that are going to be coming back to producers that they wouldn't have previously had. So the KAP Labor Task Group has been really, when I talk about the value of KAP, it's the example I give about what does it mean for KAP to be successful? This is it. It's co-chaired by the province of Manitoba, and we get to work with them and say, this is what the industry needs. This is what we're looking for. And it was actually through that labor task group, but the 5 extra vet seats that we were able to get this past year at the veterinary college that are linked to large animal veterinary care. So this is a big issue, veterinary services for Manitoba. So Manitoba beef producers, Manitoba bison, Manitoba sheep, Manitoba chicken and eggs and pork are all the livestock industries rely on these vets to be there.
Working together with these groups and having the ability to go to government to ensure that there's a strong rural community with regards to ensuring that we have the right care and attention and animal welfare.
So in our whole sector, those relationships really do matter because it's the same people you're dealing with on a day in, day out basis, whether it's for your day-to-day business or it's on a commodity board or it's someone working in a provincial or federal government. The industry itself is so small and everyone knows everyone. So the value in that relationship, you can't measure it.
I come from a city, I lived in northern Manitoba for a time in my life, but being able to tell my friends and the people I went to school with and the people who live in my neighborhood that agriculture matters to them is something that is new, is a new concept for them.
There was a significant change in the delivery of the Ag Crown lands. There was engagement with partners and people who utilized that, but it became a very complex situation. It's been an adjustment that the government has been made aware of and have agreed to. So I think it is a step in the right direction that they've been listening to the producers about the situations on Ag Crown lands.
Everyone realizes the huge cost increase that we've been incurring in the last number of years, and the volatility there, combined with volatility of weather that we've seen. You know, in 2021 we went from drought to flood in some cases, you know, at the end of the season. So having that additional protection that a farmer can ensure themselves is definitely needed.
I would engage with your board rep. Your board rep is the one who, more often than not, is also the district chair. But the board rep is the one who also, you know, gets involved and sees that whole big picture, and understands not only what is going on in the industry, but also within the organization. So they wear both of those hats. And at the end of the day, we're all farmers, but we are for the betterment of the organization and so forth, our members. So I'd encourage someone to reach out to their board member and give them a call, because I'm sure they would certainly tell you whatever you want to hear and would be happy that someone's taking an interest.
Not everyone's going to be able to join the board. Not everyone's going to be able to join a committee. But coming out to a meeting or us hosting an event in your area, we are really committed to engagement. Location matters when it comes to developing policy or guidelines or sustainability measures. We need you to participate. We want to find ways to do that. If you can think of any, we want to hear from you.
Well, I guess up until this point, it's been difficult to reflect on that part, because there's still a lot of things to be done and still a lot of work that's happening. So it has really been humbling to be a representative of an organization that represents all of these particular features. And so hopefully I have fulfilled their expectations and done a good job.
I think agriculture as an industry in Manitoba and in Canada, in order for us to speak to our key stakeholders, we have to be able to speak with one voice. And I think one of the examples of positive forward moving would be the collaboration that we had in the summer of 21 with the drought in Manitoba.
As I said in my earlier comment, it's important for young producers to get involved, to become aware of what's going on in their industry, and to have a voice and to speak up for the changes or the ideas that they may have. You know, policy is formed by many voices and not just one.
It's not just a job, it's a lifestyle, it's a commitment. But that's actually something that I share in common with producers, is that I go full in. And when I joined agriculture, I went full in. I'm the converted, and I'm really grateful for that.
I just think it is such an honorable profession to be able to raise and grow crops and livestock that feed the world and feed this province. There's no I in team, in so much as that I've never been the strongest individual on a team, but I've always felt a participant in a team. And so that to me is really beneficial, that we have members of a team pulling together, doing the right thing for a common goal.